Hello everybody, welcome back to SnowRunner, my hard mode playthrough. I am in Big Salmon Peak, just driven the Voron Grad up to the warehouse area, grabbing one lot of consumables for a minute. Just the one. We're going to get this delivery done. I want to know that I'm done in this corner before I start pulling stuff out. We're by no means done, but it just felt like a good thing to start the episode with. We've got we got 3 units of these to deliver, and they're up into the swamp. So rather than taking the big blue trailer in on the Taiga, I thought it would make more sense to do this delivery with the Grad. So I'm going to deliver this one to Matt's house, which is up near the warehouse, and then I'll grab another 2 and take them down to the other 2 houses on the way south towards the metal factory. I've just been going through all of the logistics and sort of material requirements for this map and for Flooded Foothills. And blimey, oh, that was a quick catch. That would have been a classic start to the episode, wouldn't it? Wow, I'm a little bit surprised at myself that I caught that. Yeah, there's a lot of materials needed. I've looked. At the end of the last episode, I moved some cement into the concrete factory, and I've just been through. That's why I did this before starting the episode. I wanted to make sure I wasn't making a mistake, and I did say something that wasn't quite right in the last episode. I don't think there is any requirement to deliver raw cement anywhere for any of these. There may be some for tasks on Flooded Foothills, but the cement that I've found on this map, I'll basically craft straight into slabs and blocks that are needed to deliver to the factory contracts. So there's, I think, 11 units of cement at the warehouse, 5 in one part, 6 in another. So yeah, all of the cement that we get will be needed to craft. And we may not have enough, so we'll see. Gather it all together, put it all in the factory, craft it into what I think we need. Take it from there. But we're just gonna get this done first, just because it's a thing to tick off that's quite nice for me to get done. Crane mode. Probably don't need the legs down, but hey, safety first. You know me. I'd help if I unpacked it though, wouldn't it? Unpack the cargo. And then this is Matt's consumables for the supporting the locals task. We're going to put it up on here. Put a slab up on top of a couple of blocks. He's protecting his consumables, even though his house is probably going to flood. Fine. He should put his house up on some blocks, possibly. Just saying. Who am I to judge? Cargo mode. Delivered. Done. Oh, I didn't even see him come out and get them. They've done that so you can't just recycle the same unit, haven't they? Restore the crane, and then we basically backtrack, retrace our steps, grab 2 more, and then head down the railway line down south. And it might be more efficient to have more cargo slots because I could pick up metal beams and wooden planks and bricks and things on the way, but then you got to balance that with struggling through the swamp, so I'm just going to use the Grad for it for now. So we need, looking at my spreadsheet, which is on my side monitor, I might put a brief screenshot up of the way I've calculated it to give a bit of an insight into how I organise things like this. We need 5 concrete slabs, 8 concrete blocks. And then looking at the crafting ratios to use cement to make that, that means we need a total of 18 slots of cement to be able to craft that amount of concrete product. And if my calculations are correct, we get 16 slots of cement from these 3 warehouses. So we'll be too shy of what we need. Could have made a gate there, but no, I'll be a good boy. Drive around the corner. So I'm just going to quickly load up 2 more. And then we'll get on with this delivery down the railway track. I want to do this one in the daylight because navigating your way through the swamp isn't necessarily easy. So, consumables on the loading platform. We don't need consumables for contracts on this map, but we do need consumables, 10 of them, for contracts on Flooded Foothills. And I don't know if I can get consumables. I haven't looked yet at the sort of places I can get consumables on that map, but I know I can get an unlimited supply of them here. So I may end up ferrying 10 units from here through to the other map if needed. Fuel crane, back to cargo. Right, engine off. Let's just make sure I'm clear on where I'm going. It's basically going to be down the railway line to this level crossing. Or crossing. Then I'll come off through to deliver to Steve's house. Then I'll work my way down. I'll do the route for that afterwards. It might be best to go back to the railway line. So we get that delivered, and then we'll look at what else needs to be done up around this warehouse area. I'll just refuel as well before I leave. Bit daunted at the amount of deliveries that need to be done, and thinking this isn't enough fuel. So that fuel trailer has to be delivered somewhere because it's not mine. It's part of a task or contract. And the only thing I can see that vaguely matches it is I have to deliver a heavy oil tank. And I assume by heavy oil tank, they mean that fuel trailer. Yeah, that's a thing that I haven't confirmed or worked out for definite yet. But that's. And I think I've also then found the one of the factory tasks, I think it might be the sewage treatment ones, needs a trailer delivered with some tanks on it. So I think that is the trailer that's up in the up near the warehouse that we got the cement out of last episode. I said I hadn't worked out yet what that is for, but having gone through all of the contracts in some detail before this episode, I think I've found out that's what that one's for. So it's starting to come together in my head, but it looks to me like I think it's the right approach. I'm gonna end up finishing Big Salmon Peak first, and then go back to Flooded Foothills with any fuel that's currently remaining at that point. But I think there's a lot more work to do in Flooded Foothills than there is in Big Salmon Peak, because some of those restoring the mine and the ore sorter, there are 2 parts to it, and there seems to be a lot more materials needs to be shifted around. So I think flooded foothills is where the bulk of the work is. Right, it's kind of a muchness which route you take through this swampy stuff, but we'll go this way. Pretty much drive as the crow flies and you'll end up getting there. Get a diff lock on in this swamp. There's loads of little paths through this swamp basically, but some of them lead to a little bit deeper water. But I think the Grad has got a pretty decent snorkel. It's not too bad. It's not quite up to the roof, but it's up near the mirror there on the right side of the cab. Just about to see it. Right, Steve, here comes your goods. Let him know we're here. You need some roof tiles, mate. That's what you need. You don't need consumables. Big old hole in this roof. Several of them. Right. Unpack the cargo. Crane mode. I'll move my camera around. Knocked over his rotten tree. Hope he wasn't attached to it. Store the crane. Cargo. Done. Delivered. And then repack my cargo. Engine off. How do we get down to... It might just be a case of drive. By the time I get out to the railway line and then down past, there's a blockage anyway on the track. Well, I did want to see whether any of these containers can be picked up. Because it does say there's, in one of the tips, it says there's quite a few containers on the railway track. So maybe just to satisfy that curiosity, I will retrace back to the railway line and come down here and around this area start looking at whether these are containers I could pick up. Yeah, let's do that. So I only need containers for crafting cabins, and I don't need many cabins, so it's not that big a deal. Based on the fact I am going to reuse the cabins. I did have a little bit of a think about whether I'm comfortable with that, and I decided yes I am. So it does seem a bit of a strange mechanic that you can deliver something, they give you your reward, and then you can pick it up and take it somewhere else and get a reward again. If it was a role-playing series, I wouldn't do that. It's not, it's a let's play, and that's the way the game mechanic works apparently. Didn't follow my waypoint anyway. Let's have a look this way. All I want to do is get to the railway line. I don't care specifically about getting to that level crossing. I just want to make my way back to the railway line. I think this is episode 15 of this series. I'd quite like to get those metal beams. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Too much fat. I'd be fapping about with taking the consumables off, putting them on the floor, loading the beams, packing them, and then putting the consumables on top and carrying them through the swamp loose. And that in my book is what I call fapping about, and I'm not going to be doing that, I don't think. Where's this railway line then? I'm sure I'm taking the longest route back to a railway line ever. This looks promising. Clear those because I didn't quite follow the route, but the same principle applies. I want to see whether these are containers I could pick up if I choose to. I think I'm better off. I think the ground is more level on the other side of the track. On the map, I thought there was a container near here. That's why I put that waypoint where I did. Yeah, there should be, on the map, there's a container right there. But I don't see it. I see the red one further down there. And again, on the map, there's a red container, but there's also supposed to be a couple of containers there. Don't see them. And there was one contract or task that said you can find containers near the railway track. But no, I can't. Okay, fair enough. Engine off. Where is this house? So I can't get past that block track. I've got to come down here and probably just weave my way as the crow flies through the swamp to get to there. See the delivery point anyway as a waypoint. Get over this track safely. I think this is easier than pulling that blue trailer through here. Definitely the right choice for me. I still almost brought the Acteon in for it, but because this part of it needed two delivered to this similar area of the swamp, it's just 2 trips backwards and forwards if I do the Acteon, whereas the Voron can do it in 1. Oh, that's a bit deep. Hang on a minute, Leroy. Calm down. I'm sure I probably could get through it with the grad, but let's not risk it. I don't like that. That's taking me the wrong way. It's a muddy mess, isn't it? This would be great fun, driving a truck like this through a swamp. YouTube algorithm lately has been showing me lots of off-road trucking. Presumably they've made the connection between the game, the videos I'm publishing, and the other people's videos of SnowRunner that I've been watching. And the fact that I like off-road trucking, so they've been showing me, and some of the videos that have been popping up have been quite interesting because they've been basically variants of trucks from the game. So there was a Bandit-like vehicle. Some Mercedes-Benz ones that aren't in the game, but the same idea, the big old 8x8s doing sort of time trials across ridiculous terrain. Quite good fun stuff. Alright, come on Rachel. Wake up. We're almost there. If I'm right, this is the penultimate task. I think the only other one is that service trailer that we've got to take to the POIs. Done. Support the locals. Thanks to you, we helped those who needed it. This is a noble deed. Thank you. $7,700. I don't mind being noble for that kind of money. So, engine off. What have I got near me? If anything. There's some wooden framing there. How much fuel have I got as well? 45%. I don't really want to detour backwards. I might get some of these bricks or wooden framing down in this corner on the way out, but I've only got 2 slots, so it's not a big deal. I think I should just get into the factory while I've got a bit of daylight. Just mark the factory as a waypoint. Yeah, I think I'll just get into the factory so that I'm out of the swamp, park up, and then I can move some cargo once it's been crafted. But I'm only 2 slots, so I'm not going to be doing lots of deliveries with this. But if I find that I do need planks or bricks, then I can go off and get them, because it's easier to negotiate this swamp with this vehicle than it is to bring the big trailer through the swamp. But I just want to leave it in civilization rather than leaving it in a swamp. If I remember rightly, there's a gate at the back here. Got to watch this railway line because there's got this pretty deep groove next to it. In terms of getting the angle, I think backing up over it is better. I can't remember whether I've already delivered anything in here that's worth looking at, so I'll just have a quick squint at what's in the crafting zone, if there's anything in the storage that's worth me moving. Other than that, I'll just leave this here for now. So engine off. So there's no cargo in there at all. And this one can craft metal beams, cargo containers, large pipes, medium pipes, small pipes. And I've got to bring metal rails here to do it. Fine. So, map, and what we're going to do next is I'm going to ferry all of the cement from the warehouse to this concrete plant. I was wondering whether or not there's a way through to use the railway line, but that car's in the way. It's just a bit of an uncomfortable place to go. We just stick to the road, I think. Probably a way out through that fence if I knock some of that fence over and make my own gate. But the road route's not too bad. So we're going to do 2 trips into the warehouse and bring through all of the cement from the warehouse to this location. Right, so we are going to pick up, let me work out the best way to do this. Position a trailer so that I can load. Let's get me some fuel while I'm here. Got 70 litres, but I don't want to run out that close. And then try and straighten that up a little bit. That tanker's slightly in the way actually, for what I wanted to do there. Yeah, that tanker's in the way. Let's just move it. Change into the Phoenix. Just back it up a little bit out of the manoeuvring space that I'm trying to use. I'll do. Drop a trailer. Position myself. Some lights on. Not that the lights help much with the crane work, but cargo cement. So there are 6 left. I'm going to put all 6 of those on this trailer. This is where it might be worth me just having a big crane that's permanently stationed, so I haven't got to worry about it so much. Just pull up and get loaded. I've got the Phoenix there, haven't I? I should have done that. I'll do that for the next lot. They have definitely changed some key bindings to do with getting out of crane mode. That is a different set of keystrokes to do efficient cargo reloading. I don't know when they changed it. This is too much cargo for me to be too fussy. I'm just going to chuck it all on, pack it. Trying to do it properly didn't last long, did it? So this sort of stuff, all of the contracts, when you look at the volume of cargo that needs to be delivered, and a lot of you guys have already done this, you've already played this through. A lot of my viewers have played or completed this game and are just enjoying watching somebody else struggle through the same stuff that they've struggled with. Which I get, that's a thing, that's fine. But as you know, this is very repetitive. So at some point, I will start thinking about how to cut and heavily time-lapse this into watchable content. Because I don't think anybody needs to watch me do 6 trips of loading and delivering the same thing. So yeah, at the minute I have been time-lapsing quite heavily, but I haven't really done a lot of cuts in this Yukon series. And even, to be fair, even in Kola I didn't really do a lot of cuts. Because there wasn't that much repetitive stuff compared to other regions. But yeah, this one. Yeah, trying to be clever, look. Trying to be clever, it doesn't suit me. I was trying to pull those in a bit tighter. So just do that. That'll pack. Obviously, I've got one more cargo to get. But I can't put that on the truck because it won't allow me to pack the other 5 if there are 6 slots on the trailer. So yeah, I'm just giving a bit of a advance warning because I know some people would rather see everything. But I don't know that it makes good content for the majority. I can probably get that from here, to be fair. Right mode, legs down. Not going to be pretty, but I'll be able to drag it over. No difference to what I do dragging stuff out of a swamp, is it? So I'll just double stack this one, take 6 slots of cargo. Leave the winch on it if I don't need it while I'm driving. Restore my legs. I may as well just fill my tank. I won't need it, but it's always good practice to be filled. And then we'll go and get this delivered. Once this is done, we'll come back and get another 5 out of the other loading zone. I'm not going to try the railway line, so especially not with full cargo. I might try coming back that way. It's just there I need to go, but rather than trying to straddle that in the dark and maybe dropping this cargo, I may try that on the way back empty. So I was trying to get to one of the big logs in the snow. Cargo management. Unload 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I will need to go pack the cargo. Unload another. So that's now 11 cement available. 5 more to go and get. I am going to try and find my way down the railway line, see if it looks like something I would try with cargo on. See if it's easier than coming through that snowy lane. So there's this big metal chassis thing in the way. But then outside the fence, apart from the fact that chassis makes, or pile of metal beams, makes for an uncomfortable corner. That's not too bad, and I could probably cut through that gap anyway and not take such a sharp corner if I needed to. The biggest question is going to be how much of a groove on the side of that track, because I don't like straddling the railway line. It just makes it really difficult to turn and do anything. But on this side of the railway line, have I got enough clearance? That's another tree that doesn't want to bend. Would be handy if you needed it for winch work, but the trailer's not tracking well. That's going to be another tree that won't bend, so maybe I do want to be partially on the line. A lot quicker, right? So I think the next time I will try that. Even though the trailer didn't really behave very well. Now, let me get the Tatra in position. So on the map now, this warehouse to the south loading zone has no cement left, but the other one, if I can target it, doesn't want to let me target it. I have to rotate the map and then see if I can, yeah. So this one's still got 5 cement left. So let me jump into the Phoenix. Drop a trailer. And then move the Phoenix in to act as my loading crane. That'll do. That'll load quite nicely from there. And then I can pull the Taiga, turn it around in the big open space there, pull it across the back of the Phoenix, and the whole loading process will be quicker because I don't have to detach a trailer and position a trailer and all that good stuff. Fill up while I'm here. That looks good. Engine off. I think it's a more efficient way to do it. Cargo cement onto the loading platform, please. Trying to move it up the bed, but there's no lateral strength in the crane. It can lift, but it doesn't have much side-to-side power. I'm gonna have to just put this one on top and rely on auto pack. I think the hardest part about trying to pack stuff properly is that on a 2D interface you don't get a good depth of field, so it's hard to tell how exactly it's lined up. That's my excuse. Right, let's get these delivered. That's definitely a better way to do it, is to have a crane stationed at the places, and I think this region has so much cargo to deliver and load. You know, some of these, one of those places there has got 16 metal rolls to load up. Well, it just makes sense to have a crane there, and I can see me bringing through the big crane. So I've got 2 trucks doing cargo, and a third one that's permanently set up as a crane until I'm done with that loading zone. Because that was more efficient than what I did the previous batch. So I'm going to try this route. I'm going to see how we get on with it. At least I haven't got a loose one on top. Although this is the last of these cargo types that I need to bring in this direction anyway, so it's just a different way of doing it. Let's just whack it into low so it's not hunting gears so much. Not nice terrain for it. I'm actually going to drop off the track now because I want to swing a little bit wide to... Shame I can get in from that side. Try and go over the track at a right angle in the cab. And hope the trailer will follow. There we go, that'll do. Then the trailer should bump over. If that red car wasn't there, I would have gone right through that gap. Come around this slightly wide to give myself an angle, make a second gate in the back. That pile of beams is a nuisance. Oh, hello. I don't know what happened there. I just had some kind of a frame drop lag incident. I also don't know what I'm stuck on. A fence, I think. Titanium fence. There we go. Right. Engine off. Unload. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we've got 16 cement in. And on this map, we need 5 concrete slabs. I'm just trying to work out what I would do. So if I load up 2 concrete slabs and 1 concrete block, that's my 5 slots. Maybe I'll load up 2 concrete blocks and double stack 1 concrete block on top, and I'll take that down for the reservoirs one. So 2 slabs, 1, 2, and then 2 blocks. And then I'll load those now onto the slabs first, onto the loading platform. And again, I'll have to try and position a trailer so that I can load it. So let me just turn the trailer around a sec. Bear with me. I want to try and get it relatively square on. I'll have to rotate the cargo anyway. Detach my trailer. Crane mode, legs down. That's a bit of a reach, isn't it? But that's one. Cargo, next one. In my campaign mode save that I've been playing a bit, that I mentioned previously, to get used to using a controller and steering wheel setup, I've been also loading, because it's campaign mode, it's easy mode, why wouldn't I? And it is so much quicker. But hey. I may struggle to reach the tail of this to get this one to pack, but so I may end up having to cheese this one. Yeah, I haven't got enough reach to put that in the slot that I want to. I want to let that auto pack, and then before I leave the box, I want to put the other one on the loading platform, because I'm going to double stack one. So I'm carrying 6 units with this vehicle. Pulling as far as the trailer will let me. I'll do. I don't actually think the crane adds much value to that, so I think I am gonna just restore the crane and drive carefully. Drive carefully, me, joking it. So engine, and I'm taking this one down for reservoirs, which is unloading zone 3. Start tracking, and that is basically road all the way. And I'm optimistically putting down waypoints, hoping that I might follow them this time, instead of just ignoring them and going off in random directions. But road all the way, so that's a good thing. Once you start collecting this cargo, it is mostly asphalt. And this, we've delivered a couple of little bits for these factory tasks, but this is the sort of start of the main getting stuff done phase for the contracts. This is going to feel good. Collecting cement, crafting it into the thing you need, organising a plan, starting to shift some units of cargo. Reasonably confident that I had enough fuel there to deliver the cement, load the cargo, and get down here and get back to the warehouse, to the fuel. But what I probably will do is move the fuel to be somewhere on this route, rather than being at the warehouse. Right, let's get this into, I don't know why I'm doing that. Hang on a minute, hang on a minute, you can do this. Put it into low. Couldn't do it in auto. You'll have to excuse me. I cannot resist that as a screenshot. Right. So yeah, that is quite a climb for, well, 5 units of concrete packed. I think the mass of the one that's loose on top doesn't count in the same way. When it's not packed, it's not as heavy. Something strange with the way the physics engine works. But yeah, crawler gear all the way up that hill. Don't know why I thought I could get up that in automatic, to be honest, but pretty sure it wouldn't pull in. No. I know that's not what the person meant, but I was told that stick it in high on a hill and it'll pull harder. Not when it's got this much mass on it and it's going to just stall. Right. Now I'll put it in high because we've got a bit more rolling speed. So for reservoirs, this will deliver both of the slabs that are needed and then 2 out of the 4 blocks that are needed. Engine off. Cargo. Yeah. So both. Both slabs, and then I've got to just repack this block. There we go. So now it needs 2 metal beams. It needs pipes as well, but it needs a couple of more blocks. Fine. That was pretty good. That felt good. That's. I think that's a good achievement. I've still got enough fuel. I got half a tank. I will move the fuel out. I might park it like here, so that it's accessible in the area, but you refuel on the way in, refuel on the way out, until this area is drained of all the cargo that I care about, and then move on. And there are 2 metal frames on my route, so that's the 2 metal frames that Reservoir will need. I haven't really got time to go and get them. No, that's not. Editor will hate me. So that's pretty good. We've made a start on the proper contracts, the big contracts, which is the sort of meat of this region, I think. We've done lots of work up until now in the previous 14 episodes doing tasks and scouting and so on. But now we've got into what I think is the serious phase of Yukon, which feels good. So I think good bit of progress today. I am going to wrap this episode here. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Thank you very much for watching. I will continue with this reservoirs contract in the next episode, I think. It'd be nice to get some progress on those big contracts. But that's all for next episode, so I hope to see you in the next one. In the meantime, thanks and goodbye.